Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 426 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I hope this finds you happy and healthy and listening to that inner guidance system that's always guiding you towards your best life. I like the sound of that because it helps me remember that I'm loved and I'm guided every single day. And so are you. I hope you know that. Don't ever forget it. Okay, so I've been having fun lately because I'm working on several really cool design projects. So my mind is constantly working on what would look best and what would function best for my client's lifestyle. And how can I make their home feel like a respite, like a space they never want to leave? That's really fun for me. And sometimes that's all I want to do. That's all I want to think about. When I'm in the middle of projects, I do kind of get tunnel vision like that. I find that I have to make myself do other things. For instance, the other morning I had a really cool idea for a client, and I was really excited to do a little research on my idea. And when I have projects like that going on in my mind, I'm always considering and deciphering and busy coming up with ideas of how to make the project better. But I have a pretty consistent routine in the mornings, which includes my meditation and journaling. And that makes me better at everything I do throughout the day, and I know that. But that morning, my brain did not want to stop the fun and exciting thing to sit down and quiet my mind for 10 to 15 minutes and basically do nothing, think about nothing. It was on go. It was ready to get busy and get going on that really cool idea. I didn't want to slow down and meditate and journal. But guess what? I did. I told myself, I literally said, I know it's not what we want to do, but we're going to do it anyway. And so we did. Now, when I say we, I mean the 2-year-old version of me that hangs out in the backside of my brain that wants what it wants when it wants. And also the adult version of me that makes really good decisions and plans out and has good ideas for long-term goals, not just what we want in the moment. Just in case you were wondering who I was talking about, we. But anyway, a lot of times I notice that when I'm thinking from the part of my brain that acts like a 2-year-old, it's often when I'm stressed or worried or I have a ton of things going through my mind. I mean, that's when I want to skip my workouts or I want to have that drink or I want to just eat all the cookies because it's easy and that tastes good. I mean, it makes sense though, because our primitive brain, that's the one that has you acting like a 2-year-old. That's the part of the brain that seeks anything that brings pleasure. It avoids anything that brings pain, wants you to conserve energy at all costs. It has you only wanting to hang out with people who are safe and that you know, and really would love for you to avoid being seen altogether. It really just wants you to hide out. So you can see how living from that part of your brain can cause a lot of problems, right? I mean, you're not going to want to venture out from your house very much, if at all, when you live from the primitive brain, because the world is a scary place and it wants you to be protected at all costs. But guess what? You have someone that is always on your team, okay? 100% of the time, you have someone that knows what's best and is rooting for you. And you get glimpses of that someone all day long. You get glimpses when you get the urge to go to the gym, when you get the urge to meal prep all your food so you eat healthy. You get the urge to do anything that is really going to serve you long term. That's when you notice that someone that's guiding you. And that someone, that's the voice inside your head that says we really should be doing this, or we really shouldn't be doing this. It's your inner guidance system, and it's talking to you all the time. You know it is. It's just that so much of our life is spent on autopilot that a lot of time that inner guidance system is drowned out. It's drowned out by Instagram or Netflix or alcohol or food or sex, whatever it is that distracts you from listening to that voice that the only goal it has is to you living your best life. And we all have that voice. I mean, you ultimately know what's best for you. We all do. We all innately know. We're born with this innate knowing of what is best for us. And we either follow it or we don't. And you can tell by how your life is going the percentage of the time you follow your inner guidance system. And look, there are going to be times where you slip, where you have to give yourself grace, where the primitive brain takes over because you're simply trying to survive. Like last week, I talked about it on my podcast. We lost our little Yorkie. We had to say goodbye to her. We gave ourselves grace because we needed a little time. There were a few days where I swear I didn't want to do anything, and neither did my husband. And so we didn't. We needed time and we took it. Nothing wrong with that at all. But where we have to be careful, though, is we don't want to do that for too long because now we're picking up bad habits. And they're not hard to pick up. A bad habit's kind of easy to pick up. You see, I broke my habit of drinking alcohol during the week a while ago. I just didn't even think about it. But I noticed this last week, I wanted to pick that habit back up, just to take the edge off. But even though I just have one drink, I still don't feel great the next day the way I do when I don't drink alcohol at all. Now, fortunately, I'm aware of it, so it makes it easier for me to say no. So I may feel the urge to have a drink during the week, but feeling the urge and also having the drink, feeling the urge and having the drink, those are two very different things. The feeling of the urge and the actual having of the drink. Those are very different things. You can feel the urge without having the drink, right? You just have to decide, and I have to decide in advance what I'm going to do, because part of me wants the drink. But the adult in the room says, I know you want it, but we're not going to have it. Not on a Tuesday. So this last Monday, after taking a few days off from exercise because we'd been kind of giving ourselves grace, like I said, I didn't feel like going to the gym. We had taken 4 days off, and that was unusual. So I didn't feel like going back to the gym on Monday. But I had decided in advance that I was going to go, even if I didn't want to. That part of me said, I don't want to go. But then the other part said, I know, but we're going to anyway. You see, I used to think that people who were successful at eating or drinking or anything just never had the urge to be lazy or indulgent, but that isn't the case. Everyone has those urges, and those very successful people, those athletes, they just know in advance what they're going to do when they have those urges. They let the adult in the room make the decisions, which puts the 2-year-old in its place. We all can do that. So this morning when I was excited to get into my design idea instead of quieting my mind to meditate, I knew in advance I was going to meditate anyway, and it felt even more empowering because I started the day off following my inner guidance system instead of succumbing to my 2-year-old craving to do whatever it wanted. My challenge to you this week is the next time you hear your inner guidance system giving you an idea that serves you long term, like going to the gym or let's get a salad instead of fries, know in advance the 2-year-old in you is going to say, I don't want to. But also know in advance you're going to override it by saying, I know, but we're going to anyway. Share this with 3 people that have an inner guidance system. Hint, hint, that's everyone. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.